We're standing here with Kelly Maurer out of Scarborough, Maine, driving the Jordan Lumber 1988 Buick LeSabre. Kelly, welcome back to Jennerstown here. We've only had 2 races here, one in 87, one in 88, and you've won them both. Is this a speedway you've taken a liking to, or is it, how do you appraise that?
Well, you know, the racetrack, we came here last year and adapted the racetrack, I felt, pretty quick. And the car ran real well, and luckily enough, we came back again this year, and the car, you know, ran exceptionally well. And we had a real tough race with Dick McKay, but we ended up beating him out.
Do you plan to stay in the Busch Grand National North Tour, or are there future aspirations for Kelly Maurer?
Well, we're just taking it one step at a time right now. Hopefully that, you know, we can move on, but, you know, we're just going to conquer one thing at a time.
How about tonight? You think you can get that pole position again? You've been awful lucky down here.
Well, the last 5 times, we've got 6 poles this year, and 5 of them we've got right in a row. We lost one last weekend by just 3/100ths of a second, but I feel pretty confident tonight. I really feel that we can pull this off, but we're going to tell in about 10 or 15 minutes here.
Well, time trials have started for the B.J. Maurer Ford 150 in the Busch Grand National North Tour. We're going to let Kelly Maurer go so he can prepare for time trials. Good luck to you, Kelly.
Thank you.
The field starts to stretch out. It continues to be Jimmy Burns with the lead, followed by Silva. Now Stuck Fat working over the back bumper of Pete Silva as they drag race down the long back straightaway. Here comes Bob Healy. Healy trying the low side on Bessie as they fight it out for 4th and 5th. Stuck Fat looking to the outside of Pete Silva. And now Bob Healy making the move on the inside of Joe Bessie. Healy has that Pontiac 2+2 on the low side of Healy as they're side by side. Paint job to paint job down the long back straightaway. Healy hooked up on the low side. He gets by Bessie and Bob Healy moves up into 4th place. Meanwhile, it continues to be Burns with the lead into 15. Pete Silva now starting to close in on Jimmy Burns. He's bringing Stuck Fadden right with him into 16. Let's see what Bob Healy can do. He has some distance to make up in this 10-lap first qualifying race for the Busch Grand National North Tour. It continues to be a 3-car battle. Stuck Fadden still entertaining thoughts of working the high side of this racetrack in the turns. Now Pete Silva's closed in on the back bumper of Burns. Burns looking like he's not able to go into the turns as hard as Pete Silva. Watch Silva when we go into 3. Here comes Stuck Fadden as well. Keep your eyes on the red number 1. It looks like he's got it through the turns now. The tire's heating up and it's working for him. Into 1 and 2. That battle continues for the lead. Here comes Pete Silva. He's trying to work the low side of Burns now. On the long back straightaway, Burns able to hold him off, but when we go into the turns, here comes Silva. He tries the low side on the left quarter panel of Burns. He can't quite do it. Meanwhile, Stuck Fadden trying to take advantage of the outside. Stuck Fadden looks to the outside of Pete Silva. They're wheel to wheel going into that first and second turns. All of a sudden now, Bob Healy coming into it, but Fadden on the move on the outside. Stuck Fadden going into 2nd place, but Silva trying to hold him off on the inside. We're still side by side. Now Fadden goes into 2nd and sets his sights on Jimmy Burns into 15. Meanwhile, Bob Healy closes up to Pete Silva right on his back bumper. Healy and Silva almost touching as they work down the long back straightaway now. Question becomes, can Stuck Fadden close the gap on Jimmy Burns as we work through 3 and 4? This time around, only 2 laps remaining from starter Jack Freeman. The battle continuing for the top 4 spots. Healy tries the low side on Silva, but Silva closes the door in turn 1. On the back straightaway, Burns still with the lead by 2 car lengths over Stuck Fadden. Bob Burnell on the 17 goes into the pits with problems. Burns still holding him off the white flag. 1 more lap to go. Stuck Fadden looks to the low side of Burns. Right there is Pete Silva. Now Fadden closing in on Burns. Silva falling off the pace a bit, and Bob Healy right behind him. Stuck Fadden trying to close the gap. Less than a half a lap to go. Coming out of turn 4. It's going to be Jimmy Burns, followed by Fadden. Silva and Healy almost getting Pete Silva as Silva backs off at the line. Joe Bessie coming in at 5th, followed by Ed Ferree. The green comes out, we're racing. Dale Shaw on the inside at Pontiac 2+2. And look at this, the 36 machine of Bob Gatta gets down under. Gatta trying to get under the 03 machine of Leo Poirier, and he does it. Aaron Bennett in the 04 out there as well, working in that 4th place position. Bob Gatta now hanging on to 2nd, and it's still Dale Shaw out front in the Budweiser Pontiac 2+2 machine. Gator running 2nd. Leo Poirier in the 03 third. Aaron Bennett in the 04 running fourth. Larry, oh, look out, we got problems between 3 and 4. The 84 machine, Brian Weber, out of North Babylon, New York, getting the car sideways and just kisses the wall. Let's see what get the binoculars on this and see if there's some damage to the driver's side of that car, as he looks like he's going to try to limp back into the pits. Yeah, he has a flat tire on the left front. A tire has been cut on the 84 Brian Weber. The rules are in the Busch Grand National North Tour that Brian Weber can fix that car and go back out in this heat race. Shaw brings him around. We're racing. Into 1 and 2. Bob Gaeta still running second. Aaron Bennett now up the third. Leo Poirier off the pace, and smoke coming out of the back end of Haley's machine, the 52, and he starts to slow down. Bruce Haley, problems on his car. Poirier way up high, almost losing it. It continues to be Shaw, followed by Bob Gaeta in the 04 of Aaron Bennett. Larry Cates in the 75, running comfortably in fourth. Haley's car into the pits. Down the long back straightaway continues to be Shaw with the commanding lead over Bob Gaeta in the 36. Bennett now finds himself being closed in on the back bumper by Larry Cates in the 75. Cates looking to the low side of Bennett as they work down the front straightaway. The battle right now for third and fourth between Bennett and Cates. Cates still looking to the low side of Bennett, working into turn 3. Bob Gaeta looks like he might be closing in a bit on Shaw's machine, but the battle's for third. Oh, Larry Cates way down under the yellow line, trying to hang on to it. 5 laps down, 5 to go. Cates still trying to entertain thoughts to work the low side of Bennett's machine. The Groveton, New Hampshire driver, Aaron Bennett, still holding off a hard charge on Larry Cates in the 75. Sanford, Maine's Larry Cates now looking to the outside of Bennett. Here we go, out of turn 2. Cates can't get him on the low side. He's trying to work the high side. It continues to be Shaw. In the Shaw Racing Budweiser Pontiac with the lead. We've got Larry Cates right on the back bumper of Aaron Bennett in that battle for third position. Now Cates looking to the outside, out of turn 2, but Bennett holding him off as they work down the long back straightaway, diving into turn 3. This time around, starter Jack Freeman gives him 2 laps to go. Oh, look out! Cates gets the car up into the marbles, brings it back online, and loses any chance he has of trying to battle it out for third position with Bennett. In the meantime, Leo Poirier has a chance to close up on him, but let's see if Cates collects the car back into the groove. The white flag, 1 more lap to go for Shaw. Bob Gaeta definitely closing in on him, but running out of time. Perhaps Shaw just pacing the car at this point with a comfortable lead. Bennett all by himself in third now, and Larry Cates not able to really get back into the groove, settled into a distant fourth. This time around, the checker comes out for Dale Shaw, followed by Bob Gaeta. Bennett will finish a distant third, followed by Cates, Poirier, and Gary Pulsifer in the 28. This beautiful field of the Busch Grand National North cars. Wave to all these competitors as we get ready for the B.J. Maurer Ford 150. What a show we're going to put on here You got to travel really far to see these cars, and we've got them right here in Western Pennsylvania on the asphalt at the beautiful Jennerstown Speedway. 24 of the best out there. And thank you. Find your seat. We'll be ready to get going now. Buckle in, and of course, once again, they're going to tell me to buckle in and put that 5-point safety belt on to keep me from going through this double pane glass into the stands there when I get fired up. Next time around, we're going to turn these competitors loose. Will it be Bobby Dragon, who won at 87 at Clearfield? Could it be Kelly Moore trying to make it 3 in a row, once last year and already this year? Larry Caron, who led so much of the show at Clearfield earlier this year, only to be passed by Moore at the end. Could he have the hot shoe tonight? Dick McCabe, a strong runner out there in the zero. Just the recent winner of the Oxford 250, the most prestigious non-Winston Cup asphalt race. He won $38,000. How about Chuck Bound, the consistent runner in the Skull Bandit machine? Jimmy Burns up there as well. Dale Shaw in the 60. How about Davey Allison from the back of the pack? The pace car pulls away. The Ford Thunderbird Turbo Coupe into the pits, anticipating starter Jack Freeman's green flags for 150 laps in the BJ Maurer Ford 150. Here we come out of turn 4. The green side, we're racing. A beautiful start down into turns 1 and 2. Bobby Dragon with the lead. Kelly Moore in the inside second row. Jamie Obey in the 41, trying to hold that outside position. Chuck Bound settles into a comfortable 4th place. Jimmy Burns running 5th. Look at that battle by the 3 red cars coming out of turn 4 for the lead. Jamie Obey, the hot setup. Aaron Bennett gets up in a groove, but Jamie Obey fighting it out wheel to wheel with Bobby Dragon. They're side by side working in 3 and 4. Obey trying to take it away from Bobby Dragon, coming out of 4, and it looks like Obey takes it over. Obey moving into the lead, settling into 2nd right now as it becomes a single file freight train for the top 5 competitors. Bobby Dragon off the pace, looks like Bruce Haley in the 52. The 47 of Kelly Moore settling into 3rd. Chuck Bound right there in striking distance, running 4th, followed by Jimmy Burns, Dale Shaw, Larry Caron, and Dick McCabe. Bruce Haley going into the pits in the 52. Problems with that machine already so early in the event. Bad head gasket on that car from the word go. Perhaps he just got in there to take some points, but look at this battle for the lead. Freight train car style. Into 1 and 2. It's still Obey with the lead, followed by Dragon. Kelly Moore in the 47. Out of turn 4, it continues to be Obey. And the battle continues, a 3-car battle for the lead. 3 red cars up there. Obey, Dragon, and Moore running nose to tail. Chuck Bound a distant 4th, not able to keep pace, is trying to hold off Jimmy Burns and Dale Shaw behind him. Up high against the wall, the 03 machine. That's Leo Poirier in the 03. Keep your eyes on that car, a little bit squirrely. Chuck Bound now has his own personal battle as he holds off 5th place runner Jimmy Burns and the 60 of Dale Shaw running in 6th. They're now down in the front straightaway, and the Skull Bandit machine of Bounds continues to be able to be in the thick of things. The battle's still up front. It's a 3-car battle early in the race on lap 7. And that is Jamie Obey with the lead, followed by Dragon in the 71, Moore in the 47. Stubb Fadden trying to make a move on the outside, going into turn 1 on Pete Silva. Fadden's car really squirrely in that outer groove. Keep your eyes on it. Bob Healy in 11 running on the low side of him. Down the front straightaway, Obey continues with the lead. Beaver Dragon in the 71 falling closely in 2nd, and Kelly Moore in the 47 hanging on to 3rd. Lots of action will take place throughout the 150 laps as we're so early in the event on lap number 9. Obey still on in a point. Bobby Dragon in the 71, hanging on to second. Moore in the 47, appraising his situation, sitting right behind those two top runners in third. Chuck Bound able to hold off the likes of Jimmy Burns, and now Dale Shaw on the Pontiac, the Budweiser machine, trying to get under Burns in that battle for 5th place. Car slowing on the back straightaway. Gary Pulsifer in the 28 as he goes limping into turn 3. Working on lap 11 now. It continues to be Jamie Obey in the 41, followed by Bobby Dragon in the 71, Kelly Moore in the 47. That 3-car freight train trying to separate itself from the rest of the field. Now Dale Shaw in turn 1 under the yellow line, trying to make the low side pass on Jimmy Burns. They continue to run door handle to door handle down the long back straightaway. Quite a battle going on there, 5th place position. Now Obey looks like he's trying to separate himself from Bobby Dragon, but it's Kelly Moore who looks like he's strong enough to make a pass on Dragon as he challenges for 2nd place. Here goes Moore down the back straightaway. Kelly Moore looking to the high side. Moore continues this battle through 3 and 4, looking to the high side of Dragon, and he takes over 2nd. Obey now with the lead, but he's followed closely by Kelly Moore, and the question becomes, can Moore close the gap on him? Now Chuck Bound finds his hands full. Jimmy Burns on the outside of him going into turn 3. That battle for 4th place position. Chuck Bound on the inside, and Burns looking to make a move around him down the front straightaway. Dale Shaw also getting to the outside of Bound's machine. Chuck Bound continuing to be plagued by handling problems here at Jennerstown. Is forced to give up positions early in the race, working on lap 15. Obey now trying to stretch it out over Moore as they go into turn 1. But Kelly Moore, with a long time to go in this race, will pace himself in the BJ Maurer Ford 150 as they work it into turn 3. Bobby Dragon now, the 3rd place runner, is settling off the pace about 6 car lengths behind Moore, as Moore has made it a personal battle at this point in the event, working on lap 17 as he tries to work the outside of Obey's 41. Moore is looking to entertain thoughts of the outside groove and has to be careful in a long 150-lap race that he doesn't extend the wear on his tires. Now settles back in behind Obey as they drag race down the front straightaway. On the back straightaway, Obey continues to lead this field after making an early race pass on Dragon. And now they're coming up on soon-to-be lap traffic as we go into turns 1. And could this play a strategy in the efforts of Kelly Moore as he tries to outfox Jamie Obey going into turn 3? Let's see how they thread the needle through the traffic. Obey coming up now on Leo Poirier's 03 machine. Let's see what he does. He goes to the outside and brings Moore with him. Now they go to the outside of Brian Weber in the 84. Down the back straightaway. Obey still on the point with Moore. They're coming up on Larry Cates' car. They're going to have problems when they get up into this front straightaway traffic. A lot of it going into turn 1, and they'll have to fight with that. Obey on the high side of lap traffic, now putting him a lap down. Larry Cates is 75, and Kelly Moore sticking to his back bumper like glue. They go into turn 3. It's a 2-car battle here in the BJ Maurer Ford 150. Davey Allison, no chance to really dial the car in, hangs on to the back of the pack, is threatened to be lapped here shortly as we're working on lap 22 in this 150-lap feature. Now Jamie Obey will have to contend with, almost problems there. The 96 machine of Dana Patton going into turn 1 with Jeff Spraker in the 69, almost got out of shape in front of your leaders. Now Davey Allison out there trying to make a move on Dana Patton, and he goes to the outside of him trying to keep from getting lapped. Here comes your leader, Obey, in the 41. Still no caution flags yet. And here comes Obey to put Davey Allison 1 lap down. Allison not able to get around Spraker. Your leaders, Obey and Moore, putting Allison 1 lap down in this event as they work through 3 and 4. Assessing the field behind your front 2 runners going into turn 1 now. The red 71 of Bobby Dragon running in the 3rd place position. He's followed by Jimmy Burns in a 15 who gets way up high in turns 1 and 2. And Dale Shaw fights it out with him. Quite a battle for 4th and 5th going into turn 3. Passing flag comes out for some of the traffic. Aaron Bennett in the 04 and Joe Bessie in the 9 as they work through 1 and 2 with your leader, Obi in the 41 and Maurer in the 47. Out of turns 3 and 4, working on lap 26. Jamie Obi continuing with this lead, which he captured early at the drop of the green. Bobby Dragon now looks like he's settling into a comfortable pace in 3rd position, is not really falling off the pace that far anymore. But you have to go way back, almost a half a lap behind, to pick up your 4th and 5th place running cars, which are side by side right now in turns 3 and 4. That being Dale Shaw and the Budweiser Pontiac number 60 machine, and Jimmy Burns outside of him in the orange 15. And look at Dale Shaw trying to go under lap traffic, making it 3 wide in turn 2. Working it out with Burns, and Dale Shaw looks to make the move. He dives under Brian Weber. Dale Shaw looking for 4th place. He's got it. Larry Caron in the 88 moving up through this field as well. He's currently running in 6th place position. The battle in turn 3. Oh, Brian Weber gets the car loose. He's near the wall. A beautiful job of hanging on to it. We continue under the green. All crossed up after that battle. Oh, we got a problem in the front straightaway. Dana Patton loses something on his car, and Dana Patton makes a spin. Oh, all the drivers doing a beautiful job of avoiding Dana Patton's U.S. Chrome number 96 right in the middle of the groove. I believe a tire might have gone down. Yes, a right rear tire has gone down on the 96. That's where you saw the sparks fly out from under the car, and it immediately started looping around the front straightaway. A beautiful job being done by all the drivers. We're working lap 30 under the caution. The caution laps do count in this BJ Maurer Ford 150. The green flag being held, signaling to the drivers the next time around we're back under racing conditions. Unofficially, right now, we have Jamie Obi in the lead, followed by Kelly Moore in the 47, Bobby Dragon in the 71, Dale Shaw in the 60, Jimmy Burns in the 15, Larry Caron in the 88. Dana Patton goes back onto the field. Here we go, getting ready for the restart. And Obi getting a jump on Kelly Moore. The green comes out, we're racing. Obi now stretching it out, that cool down period to his advantage. Here comes Bobby Dragon knocking on the back door, Kelly Moore. And Dragon looks like the cool down period's been to his advantage as well. Keep your eyes on that 2nd place battle. Dragon looking to the low side of Moore. Dale Shaw running right there in that 6th place position, but look back in the middle of the pack, now working out of turn 2. The battle for 5th. Larry Caron right beside Jimmy Burns. Caron on the low side of Burns in the V8 machine, trying to move up through the field. And Caron to the low side, tight running out of turn 4. Cars bumping out there. Caron takes over that 5th place position in the 88 machine. Now tries to thread his way through some lap traffic and close up on Dale Shaw, who's going into turn 3 in the number 60, currently running 4th. Obi continues to try to stretch out his lead over Kelly Moore. Bobby Dragon looking to the low side of Moore. Still very early in this event, only 39 laps in the books right now. On the back straightaway, the battle for 2nd now going into turn 3. Bobby Dragon looking all over the back bumper, Kelly Moore's machine. Haunting that back bumper, trying to make a high side move, then a low side move. Meanwhile, while Moore has his hands full holding off Bobby Dragon, Jamie Obi the opportunity to stretch it out some 15 car lengths over Kelly Moore. Out of turn 4, Obi on the point, continues the commanding lead he's held. And a North Harrisburg, Vermont driver looking very sharp as we work the first third of this event. Meanwhile, turn your attentions to turn 2, the black and white 88 now on the back straightaway of Larry Caron is one car who's really on the move. He's now closing in on Dale Shaw for that 4th place position. Here's a guy with all this time left, may be in contention near the end of the event. certainly he could look for a yellow flag after he fights it out with Shaw. And they're working on the back straightaway right now. Dale Shaw coming out of turn 4, just making a pass on Davey Allison in the 68. Here comes Larry Karen in the 88, working through turns 1 and 2, and Karen is the man on the move. If he gets clear traffic, we'll try to get a time on him and see how fast he's going. And compared to Obi, your leader, Jamie now going into turn 1 with the lead. And it continues to be a battle for second between Bobby Dragon in the 71 and the 47 of Kelly Moore. They working on the back straightaway with that battle right now. Soon, Larry Karen now is to close in on Dale Shaw in the 60 and make it a battle for 4th place position. Here comes Karen, hooked up and flying. Karen, not too long ago, recently winning one of his first tour wins of his career about 3 weeks ago after a fine performance at Clearfield, the last time these cars were in Western Pennsylvania. Turning our attention to the lead, working out of turn 2, putting Dana Pat yet another lap down as Jamie Obi diving into 3 now. The battle continuing for second between Moore in the 47 and Bobby Dragon in the 71. Dragon looks to the low side of Moore. Now turn your attention to the front straightaway. Dale Shaw finds the rear view mirror full of the black and white number 88 of Larry Karen. Could Karen be the man on the move? Pacing himself. Bobby Dragon still trying to make a move on the low side of Kelly Moore. While this is going on, Jamie Obi has settled into a comfortable lead, but has not stretched it out over Moore. It's been about 15 car lengths for the last 10 laps. We're coming up on the first third of this event to be completed. Working lap 48 right now. Dana Patton off the pace, looks to be coming into the pits in the US Chrome 96. Meanwhile, Larry Karen is haunting the back bumper of the hard charger Dale Shaw. Shaw, no easy car to pass. Karen closing in on him. Keep your eyes on him as they work the back straightaway, diving into turn 3. Jamie Obi still stretching it out and holding about a 15 car length lead over Kelly Moore. We're on lap 50 right now, 1/3 of the BJ Maurer Ford 150 in the record books. Through turns 3, out of turn 4, the battle for second continues. Kelly Moore with just enough steam under the hood to hold off Bobby Dragon right now in the event. Dragon, the Milton, Vermont driver, trying to work the low side on Moore's 47. Kelly Moore, Scarborough, Maine's favorite son out there, holding on to that position. Here comes Dragon. He tries to get a nose under Moore's car. They go into turn 1. He can't quite do it. Moore closes the door on him. Larry Karen right behind Dale Shaw's car. So we could have an interesting battle as this feature unfolds later in the event. Competitive cars out there only separated because of lap traffic on restarts. If they could group together, it could be interesting if we get a yellow. Obi on the back straightaway, maintaining, now stretching it out by maybe 20 car lengths, almost an eighth of a lap over Kelly Moore, running second. Bobby Dragon continues to work away on that left rear quarter panel of Moore's car. Now Dragon looks to be setting up for the high side, follows right in beside him as they go around the lap traffic at Gary Pulsifer on the back straightaway. Turn your attention to the back straightaway now as Dale Shaw goes down that back straightaway. Larry Karen still working, trying to make the move around him. Just can't do it. Shaw, a tough competitor to get around. Here comes Karen to the low side of Shaw down the front straightaway. The battle for 4th place, and Larry Karen trying to work under Shaw's machine. They go into 1 and 2. Larry Karen making the move, and lap traffic prevents him from making that inside pass. Bob Burnell in the 17 holds Karen off, but keep your eyes on the 88. Brian Weber comes into the pits in the 84. He's allowed to change the tires under green flag conditions. Shaw now trying to hug that low side of the racetrack to hold off the charges of Karen for that battle for 4th place. And we got a battle for second on the front straightaway. Bobby Dragon under the low side of Moore. Here we are fighting it out in turns 1 and 2. Dragon side by side with Maurer. Maurer desperately trying to hang on to second. Looks like he's going to do it. He's still in that upper groove. He's going to make a clean cut under Bobby Dragon. He's done it so far and holds off another charge. Dragon come as close as he has so far in this event of getting around Kelly Maurer. They're now working out of turn 2. And can Dragon muster it again? Meanwhile, Larry Karen in the 88 still trying to work his way around Dale Shaw's 60. They're about a half a lap behind your leader, Jamie Obey. Brian Weber coming out of the pits. He's off the pace, hugging the inside lane on turn 2, and may he, if he stops on that track, that is, he could bring out a yell. Now the car gets some fire to it, but it looks like he's going to limp back into the pits. This battle for second with Maurer and Dragon has allowed Jamie Obey to spread out his lead a bit more, trying to work that distance of a quarter lap between himself and Kelly Maurer. Not quite there yet. 61 laps, 62 laps now down in this event. We turn our attention to Larry Karen on the front straightaway, now going into turn 1. He's still looking to try to make a move around Dale Shaw down the back straightaway. Karen looking to try to somehow make a move on Shaw's machine. Shaw successfully holding him off. Here comes Karen out of turn 4 on the low side once again. But Shaw able to hold him off. Jamie Obey continues to stretch out his lead. And the Vermont driver looking very strong. Battle for second goes into turn 2. Kelly Maurer continues to hold off Bobby Dragon. Dragon still working over the back bumper at times, knocking on the door, letting Maurer know that he's there. Maurer well aware of the situation, doing a beautiful job of holding off the 71 as they work out of turn 4. Lap 64, Jamie Obey in the lead, working his way through lap traffic. And look at this, the battle on the front straightaway going into turn 1. Larry Karen trying to work the high side on Dale Shaw for 4th place position, and Karen is on the move. He's grabbed over 4th place. Larry Karen going into turn 3. Could be the fastest car in the racetrack right now. He's away from traffic. We'll get a time on him, see how fast he's going. And we'll compare it to Jamie Obey when he's clear of traffic. Karen now really starting to distance himself from Dale Shaw, running in 4th place. Keep a look on the battle for second as they thread their way through traffic. Karen at 19.96 out there. Now, if we can get Jamie Obey clean, which he is now, we'll get a time on him. Obey coming down the front straightaway. On lap 67, Obey still stretching out his lead, but going through traffic is giving an opportunity for Kelly Maurer to close the gap on him. Kelly Maurer able to close in on Obey. It looks like Obey might be slowing his pace a bit. Hey, listen to this. Your leader, Jamie Obey, is running 20.19 out there, but Larry Karen is 19.9. Karen definitely the faster car. We got a yellow. Pete Silva up in turn 4 brings out a yellow, and this could add a profound effect to this race as we're working on lap 68, now lap 69 under the yellow, with lap 71 working on that lap under caution. If I was someone bench racing down here with another race fan, I'd keep your eyes on Karen. We're getting a restart. The green's out and we're going. Into 1 and 2. Obey trying to pick up the pace. Kelly Maurer running second. Here comes Dragon in the 71. Look at Dick McCabe. McCabe trying to unlap himself here, going to the high side of Obey, racing with the leader. He's a lap down. Dick McCabe trying to get on the same lap and then hope for a caution flag. Not able to do it. Now settles behind Obey. Obey's 41 still at the lead. The battle shaping up once again for second between Bobby Dragon and his 71. Running third, trying to get around Kelly Maurer as he's done since the beginning of the race. And then we go way back to Larry Karen, who's just passing the start-finish line now. Jamie Obie clear of traffic. We'll try to see how fast he's going in this event.
Halfway, Mike.
This time around, 75 laps down, halfway in the event. Bobby Dragon still working to the low side of Kelly Moore. Can't quite do it. Down the back straightaway. Obie coming down into turn 3. And he's picked up the pace. He's running at 19.8 right now. Definitely picking up the pace on that cool down during the caution flag. But so is Kelly Moore and Bobby Dragon. They are closing in on Jamie Obie. Now they've got to get around Dick McCabe. The lap traffic, McCabe should, in a sportsmanlike gesture, allow these two top runners to get around him. McCabe holding up that second place position in the low groove. He should get the passing flag around the starter stand. He does, and he allows him by. Kelly Moore now closing back up that distance on Jamie Obie. He's been as far as 20 car lengths behind him. It looks to be about 10 car lengths now. Coming back onto the track after a lengthy pit stop, Gary Pulsifer in the 28 joining the field in turn 2. He's lost a few laps with that lengthy pit stop under the caution. Larry Caron, the 4th place runner, is being held up now by heavy lap traffic. Larry Cates in front of Caron, as well as Joe Bessie on the inside of Caron, holding up any efforts he can do. And now in the back straightaway, Caron breaking through in the black and white 88 as he dives into turn 3. But a battle was starting to shape up in 1 and 2 between the 41 of Obie, the 47 of Kelly Moore, is now closing in on the Vermont driver, Jamie Obie. We once again have a 3-car battle for the lead. We got a problem in turn 2. And once again, Pete Silva, he goes in to the wall. Carbon copy, this time on the other side of the racing track. The lights are on. The lights are on. Cars tightening up in turn 3. Here we go. Anticipating the green flag. We're racing. Obie trying to stretch out the lead once again. Down into turns 1 and 2. Obie with the lead. Here comes Kelly Moore right up on him. Bobby Dragon right there as well. Dragon looking to the low side of Moore. The battle for second place. Bobby Dragon getting under Kelly Moore's car. Moore slams the door on him through 3 and 4. Into 1 and 2. Bobby Dragon looking to the low side of Kelly Moore. Moore holding him off in second. Once again, it looks like Dragon is now the man on the move, but he can't get around Moore to make a challenge on Obie. Out of turn 4, here comes Dragon on the low side once again. He gets under Moore's car. Can he hold it? No, into turn 1. Moore closes the door on him once again. Here comes Larry Caron moving up through the lap traffic. And Bob Healy in the Pontiac 2+2 number 11 machine is closed right up on the back bumper. Caron is making a charge up through the field as well. Obie now trying to stretch it out over Kelly Moore. Moore still holding back the charges of Bobby Dragon. Larry Caron now working his way around the lap traffic. Chuck Bound in the 7, Bob Gaeta in the 36, and here comes Caron on the move. Larry Caron in the black and white 88 in turn 2 is a man to keep your eyes on. We've been calling it since about 1/3 through the race. He's been making his move up through the field, and that V8 machine, beginning to pace itself, is now coming on strong. Closing the gap now, Larry Caron. Let's keep the gap on Caron and 3rd place runner, Bobby Dragon. Right now, Caron is exactly 1.5 seconds behind the 71 of Bobby Dragon. A 3-car battle for the lead. And Caron is making the move into turn 2. Down into turn 3, Caron is cutting that gap. He's now under 1 second. Larry Caron, you can visually see it now, is reeling in your top 3 runners. Bobby Dragon anxious to make a low side move But once again, Maurer closes the door on him. The Williston, Vermont driver, Larry Karen, continues to close the gap, and the question becomes, what will he do when he gets behind the back bumper of Dragon? Dragon continues to try to go under Maurer's car. He must see Karen closing in on him. And Dragon gonna have to make a move, or he might find himself in a sandwich position, trying to get by Maurer and hold off Karen at the same time. Karen, surprisingly, not able to close in now after closing up. There he goes. He looks like he's starting to pull him now in turns 1 and 2. Obi with just a 2-car length advantage over second place runner Kelly Maurer. Right now we've got a Scarborough Maine driver in second place, that being Kelly Maurer, and 3 Vermont drivers out there. Obi in the lead, third place runner Bobby Dragon, and Larry Karen. They're all from Vermont. And here comes Karen, making it a 4-car battle for the lead. The yellow comes out. The yellow comes out, possibly. Oh, we got a problem. Is that from Pulsipers explosion? It looks like, look at this damn radiator. It looks like it's all over the... The yellow comes out for an infield mishap. Unofficially on lap 80, the cars on the lead lap. Of course, Obi in the 41, Maurer in second in the 47, third place Bobby Dragon in the 71, Larry Karen 88, 11 of Bob Healy. Then Stub Fadden in the 16, Dale Shaw in the 60, and the 15 of Jimmy Burns, all on the lead lap, fighting for top positions as we get ready for the restart. On lap 98, the Ford Thunderbird Turbo Coupe pulls into the pits. Obi brings him around, and we're racing, and Jimmy Burns is ahead of Shaw officially as they come by the flag stand. A 4-car battle for the lead on the back straightaway. It's a freight train with 4 cars running for it now. And here comes Healy as well in the 11, making it a 5-car battle for the lead. This time around, 2/3 of the event down, lap 100. We're working on the last 50 laps. And look at Larry Karen. Karen setting up for the outside on the back straightaway. Larry Karen in the V8, really flexing his muscles out there in turn 3. Karen trying the outside on Bobby Dragon. Gets the car a little bit loose and settles back in behind Dragon. Karen, the man on the move, wanting to make a strike as they work through turns 1 and 2. Here we go out of turn 2. Quite a battle for the lead on the back straightaway. Obi, Maurer, Dragon, and Karen. Everybody able to pace themselves out of turn 4. Still plenty of time left in this event. This time around, 48 laps remaining. We work on lap 102 in the BJ Maurer Ford 150. And now everybody trying to make a strike on Jamie Obi. Going into turn 3, Kelly Maurer is closed up on the back bumper of Obi. Bobby Dragon in the 71 and Larry Karen in the 88. Into turns 1 and 2, now going around the lap traffic of Aaron Bennett, the 04 on the outside. 4 cars right under a blanket as they dive into turn 3. Your 5th place position runner, Bob Healy in 11, a little bit off the pace from the top 4 cars right now. Into 1 and 2, the strategy between these 4 drivers, a flip of a coin if you will. Here comes Karen. He looks to make a strike on the outside. Oh, he gets loose up into the marbles. Larry Karen holding on to it, but he falls off the pace and will have to pick it up again. Karen trying that daring high outside groove up near the marbles and is now threatened for his position by Bob Healy. Let's see if Karen can come up and join this battle again. Right now, everybody holding that inside groove as they dive into the turns and then coming up high off the turns. Karen, the only one really to try to make an outside move. Now Bobby Dragon entertaining the thoughts of trying to go on the low side of Kelly Moore once again, as he's done all race long, at times getting side by side with Moore, but Moore denying him that opportunity. Let's keep our eyes on Karen. He really got that car loose, and that might have put some heat into the tires and forced him to settle off the pace temporarily so the tires have a chance to cool down to race temperature. Going into turn 3, Obi continues on the point, followed by Moore in the 47 and Bobby Dragon in the 71. 3 cars running nose to tail like they were doing it in the first 10 laps of this event. We're working on lap 108, and still between these 3 it's anybody's race.
Dale Shaw is coming on strong.
Dale Shaw now is really starting to come on strong. Shaw making his way up through the field. He currently is running in 6th place position and is closing in on Bob Healy, the 5th place runner in the 11. Larry Karen still not able to close that gap, and now Bobby Dragon seems to be falling off the pace a bit in the 71. Could he have used up some of his tire and trying to make the inside pass on Moore unsuccessfully earlier in the event? Kelly Moore still is able to hang in right there in 2nd. Now Dragon closing up once again in the 71. Unofficially working on lap 110 right now, coming out of turn 4. Obi still on the point, followed by Kelly Moore and Bobby Dragon. We've been doing this all race long. Moore now seems to be someone who's falling off the pace a bit from Obi's machine. Jamie Obi just in command here, fighting off any challenge. Nothing really that serious side by side, but everybody right on his back bumper at times throughout this event. And now Larry Karen in the 88 once again is closing up. Now Kelly Moore looks like he is really starting to lose something in the way of handling on the 47, and the Scarborough main driver finds himself being challenged by Bobby Dragon, and Larry Karen also trying to move up. Dragon looking to the low side of Moore as they go around the lap traffic of Weber's 84. Bobby Dragon way under the yellow line under Kelly Moore. They get together in turn 2. Slow down. Here comes Larry Karen. Kelly Moore sideways brings out the yellow, and a golden opportunity for Larry Karen. Larry Karen with that mishap between Dragon and Moore, and Harriet 2nd, and I still think he may be the strongest car in the track. We'll find out shortly. The yellow flag comes out at lap 114. Race fans, hang on to your seats. We've got a barn burner here yet.
75 coming down the front. That'll be the last car.
I called WJC. I think it's even that. I don't care.
Winners of the 7 Springs Jennerstown Getaway Weekend. Scott Bender up here, 7 Springs. Coming out of turn 4, we're racing. And it turns 1 and 2. Jamie Obi still with the lead. Larry Karen right there in 2nd place. Now Bobby Dragon settling off the pace in 3rd place, and he finds Bob Healy closing in on him on lap 118 at this point in the event, and Karen in striking distance. Oh, we got a problem in turn 3 and 4. A spin by Ed Ferree and Bob Gaeta brings out the yellow. And oh, look at this, choreographing, both cars backing up in the groove, look out! We're okay. Whew. Racing back to the yellow. The top 8 all still on the lead lap. The lights are on in anticipation of the green flag as we're on lap 122 under caution. Everybody behind the BJ Maurer Ford Thunderbird Turbo Coupe. Davey Allison, a trooper out there, still hanging out in there, although he's some laps down. Working his way. Here we go for the restart. Coming out of turn 4, we're racing. Look at this, Dale Shaw getting under Bob Healy's 11, and Dale Shaw, a man on the move. He has moved up to 4th place position. Healy up in the groove, is losing a position to Stubb Fadden, and Healy has problems with the car, and he's stuck in the outer part of the racetrack as everybody's getting by the Pontiac 2+2. Look out in turns 3 and 4. Bob Healy not able to get to the inside of the racetrack. Now Dale Shaw and the Budweiser Pontiac 2+2 machine moving up through the field. Now running fourth. Davey Allison only one lap down, running 12th in this event. 25 laps to go, 125 laps in the book, and the BJ Maurer Ford 150. Into the pits goes Bob Healy in the 11. The battle through 3 and 4. Larry Caron trying to work around Obie's machine. A car length off of him, dirt tracking it out of 4, if you will. And Dale Shaw slowly moving in on the top 3 running cars. Bobby Dragon able to muster up a challenge in 3rd place and not let Obie run away with this thing. He makes it a 3-car battle, and Shaw is really going into the turns hard and closing in. Into 1 and 2. It's soon to be a 4-car freight train battle for the lead. Down the long back straightaway. Caron looking to the outside of Obie's machine. We're on lap 127. Healy off the pace, chooses to remain out on the track as he works through 1 and 2. Now Caron looking to the outside of Obie's machine. Here comes Larry Caron. He's trying that outside groove, but Jamie Obie holds the middle of the track, and Caron not able to make it stick. Has to settle back in behind him as they work into turn 3. Meanwhile, Dale Shaw continues to reel in Bobby Dragon into 71 as they work out of turn 4. The Pontiac 2+2 Budweiser number 60 of Dale Shaw closing in on Bobby Dragon 71. And the Conway Center, New Hampshire driver is right on the back bumper of the Vermont driver, Bobby Dragon, in turns 3 and 4. Meanwhile, Caron running in 2nd, perhaps maybe playing a cat and mouse game. Now he tries the outside once again on Obie. Obie wisely moving up in the middle groove, forcing Caron way up into the marbles, and Caron has to settle into the pace, off the pace that is, lose a couple car lanes to Obie as he worked through 3 and 4. Now turn your attention to Dale Shaw. He's right on the back bumper of Bobby Dragon. Shaw, the man on the move, looks to the inside of Dragon, but Dragon closes the door. Caron also trying to make a move. 2 simultaneous battles out there for 1st and 2nd and 3rd and 4th respectively as they dive into turn 3. Dale Shaw still trying to work the outside on Dragon's machine out of turn 4. Right on the back bumper, chooses to go to the outside. Larry Caron still hanging to the low side. Here comes Dale Shaw. He goes to the outside of Dragon. He can't quite do it. Dragon holds him off. Now Shaw right there touching that car. Nose to tail, how close they run on the Busch Grand National North Series. Oh, I believe they bump in 3 and 4. Dale Shaw starting to pound on the door of Bobby Dragon, trying to make the move. Larry Caron continues to hold tight. In 2nd place, right behind Jamie Obie, 133 laps in the book. They worked through 3 and 4. Obie now stretching it out a little bit over Caron. Bobby Dragon in 3rd place has fallen off the pace, and he's holding up Dale Shaw, who looks anxious to want to make a move and join up to the 1st and 2nd place runners, Obie and Caron respectively. Now Shaw goes to the low side of Dragon in 3 and 4, and Dale Shaw is up to 3rd place and on the move. We'll try to get a distance, a gap measurement, if you will, by time, and find out if Shaw is closing that gap. Oh, he dirt tracks it. Shaw almost losing the position, back to Dragon. Right now, behind 2nd place runner Larry Caron. Shaw's 1.6 seconds behind the 88 of Larry Caron. Oh, we got a problem in turn 2, look out! And the yellow comes out on lap 136. And now this is a golden opportunity for Dale Shaw. BJ Maurer Ford Thunderbird Turbo Coupe pacing the field will soon pick up the speed and go into the pits. And it will become a 10-lap dash for cash.
Has Obie won any? He has not won yet this year.
Jamie Obie, a veteran in these type of race cars, has not won on the tour yet this year. So he's looking for his first win this season.
Dan, get out of there.
In these type of cars, but not on his tour. The green's out, we're racing.
He came over from yes, he came over from the Accord.
Larry Caron trying to close in on Obie. Dale Shaw with the cool-down period, not to his advantage, falls off the pace a bit in the Budweiser number 60 machine. The top 6 cars clear of traffic all on the same lap. Larry Karen running out of time, trying to make a move around Jamie Obie. Obie looking strong as time ticks out. We're on lap 141. Karen still trying to muster up some type of effort, and here comes Dale Shaw now. Shaw closing in on Karen. Into 1 and 2 on lap 142. Larry Karen now right on the back bumper. Jamie Obie, Dale Shaw right there as well. Karen closing in. Obie hanging on to that inside groove, and here, Obie goes up a little in the turn, and everybody tightens up in this 3-car battle for the lead. Karen trying to go the high side. Here comes Dale Shaw. Shaw looking to the low side of Karen, working down the long back straightaway. On lap 143. Here we come down the front straightaway. Obie right there going into 1 and 2. Karen running second. Dale Shaw in that 3rd place position. Dale Shaw trying the low side on Karen's car. Can't quite do it. Larry Karen slams the door. This time around, 5 to go. Kelly Moore now into 5th place, but the battle is for the front 3 positions. Shaw trying the low side. The gap is closed by Karen. Karen still trying to make a move around Obie's machine. Jamie Obie hanging on to this lead since lap 1, I believe. Lap 2, that is. Since lap 2 has hung on to the lead, working on lap 146. On the back straightaway. Time is now critical for Larry Karen if he's going to make a move on Jamie Obie. On the front straightaway, drag racing into turn 1, a 3-car battle for the lead. Larry Karen trying to set up on Jamie Obie. Obie's car drifting a little higher in that 1 and 2, but he's still holding on to it. Now they're coming up on the lap traffic. 147 we're working on. 2 laps to go this time around. And let's see what happens. Karen now's got to make the move on Obie. They go around the lap traffic of Healy down the back straightaway. Larry Karen, time running out for him. Dale Shaw not in the position he'd like to be in the last lap of this event. Now Obie's car, tires beginning to go away a bit. 1 more lap to go. Karen working to the outside. Obie right there holding him off. He stretches it out down the back straight. Oh, we got a crash in the front straightaway. The yellow comes out.
Coming to the line. Yellow and checkers.
Yellow and checkers coming to the line. Here it is. It'll be Jamie Obie.
Everybody back.
Bob Gate in the 36. And Davey Allison, the 68, crashing on the front straightaway at the end of the event. And the checker goes to Jamie Obie. First time this year on the tour, a win for Jamie Obie out of North Ferrisburg, Vermont. Hey, Dale and Larry, I'd like to chat with you guys fast after we're done here with Jamie as well, if we can get it real fast. Oh, Gary's doing quick. Okay. We're standing with the winner of the BJ Maurer Ford 150 feature event for the Busch Grand National North Cars, Jamie Obie, making the long tow out of North Ferrisburg, Vermont. Jamie, into victory lane here, your first year on the tour. You've done a lot of racing in these cars, and you've moved over to the Busch Grand National North Tour. It's got to feel good to get that first one under the belt.
Well, it certainly is. You know, it was a big step to come to NASCAR, and we're really happy we did. And, you know, I would just want to take a second to thank my crew and my sponsors, Mountain Racing, and we just can't say enough about our Wagner Buick. It just flew tonight.
I believe you took the lead on lap 2 from Bobby Dragon, then you held on to it through the rest of the race, but you had, or I should say, many opportunities of other people trying to get by you. As you went through the race, were you looking at trying to preserve the tires and hold everybody off? What kind of strategy do you use in something like that?
Well, we stayed pretty conservative. You know, the lap traffic helped us quite a bit tonight, and I didn't run the car any harder than I had to. You know, just kind of were conservative for a little while, and you know, those guys come on awful strong, and we let it go the last few laps, and we had enough tires to hold up. So, you know, just thank God we made it.
Obviously, you won the race here at Jennerstown, meaning you've got to be happy about the Speedway here, but your impressions of Jennerstown?
Oh, I love this place. The first time I came here a few months or a month ago, I couldn't even believe my eyes. This is the most fabulous track I've ever been to. I'm looking forward to coming back.
Well, certainly next year we'll be running the cars again. I'm positive of that, and we're glad to see you in victory lane in your first year here on the Busch Grand National North Tour. Again, congratulations to Jamie Aubie.
Thank you very much.
We're standing with the second place finisher, Larry Caron. Larry had a lot of problems last time you were here, but boy, you look strong this time around. What was the difference for you?
Well, last time we were here, we had problems with the transmission, and we had to work on it all night and didn't get much time to set it up. Tonight we had the time to set it up, and it worked great for us.
You were doing strong at Clearfield last time around. Of course, here problems, but up at Clearfield strong. And then soon after that, you won your first ever tour win. Is that correct?
That's right. We ran strong at Clearfield the last time we were down here last year, and after this year's outing, it all came together for us. We got the car set up, and it's running great.
That's a confidence builder for you for the rest of the tour, I'm sure of that.
It certainly is.
Thank you very much, Larry. Again, congratulations on a fine second place finish. Larry Caron. Third place finisher, Dale Shaw, running the Pontiac 2+2 Budweiser sponsored machine. Dale, I understand, good, strong third place finish. I understand that's one of your older cars.
Yeah, we've had that car since, you know, it was one of our first race cars, and we run it just on occasion. The Budweiser Pontiac was running real well tonight. We had a Buick motor under the hood for the first time, and that really performed well for us. I want to thank my crew for putting in a long, hard week. Crew chief quit in the middle of the week, and the rest of the guys really pulled together, and we did pretty good for the first race without a crew chief.
Twice you've been to Jennerstown this year, and twice you've had a Winston Cup driver in one of your backup cars. Now, of course, Davey Allison got here late. Did you have a chance to set the car up for him in hopes that he would be able to go out there and be able to run with it?
Yeah, I took the car out, and that car was working pretty well. I think he started so far back where he got here late that he got boxed in early, and I think that's what cost him from having a good finish.
I think you're pretty well up into the points situation here. Are you leading the points or close to that?
I'm leading the points right now.
So this assures that you stay probably right on top of this thing. And of course, a strong third place finish. Your impressions of the track and how you're able to run here. You came on so strong at the end.
Well, I really like the track. It's one of the toughest competition tracks I've been at. It seems like the NASCAR North cars are really evenly matched here, and the only thing that made us so we finished so well is we made, you know, talked over the radio on the yellows. We made 2 pit stops to change the stagger, and it really paid off for us. Normally we'd just stay out there and keep running, but there was so many lap cars in there, we figured, you know, what the heck, we might as well try something because we weren't going to finish good at the route we were going.
Making a strong charge at the end of the race for a third place finish out of Conway Center, New Hampshire, Dale Shaw.